Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you lucky boy. You lucky boy. And listen, this ain't coming from a place of I don't want you to win because that will never be my bag. Never ever. But I tell you, you got lucky today. Bruno Fernandes saved your ass today. Yes, guys, it's finished at Old Trafford. Manchester United won, West Bromwich Albion 0. Man United get their first win at home in the Premier League. But what the hell did I just watch, man? Because that was a terrible performance. I know we had chances, and you can't blame the manager for chances missed. I understand that. But for me, we're playing at home against arguably the worst team in the league. I mean, maybe Fulham's worst defensively. Sheffield United have been pretty bad this year. But West Brom, I mean, looking at the fixture, we're talking about whipping boys. That's what we're thinking. 2-3-0 comfortable. If you get more, then you take it. But 2-3-0 comfortable. It wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough. And, you know, a lot of people from the outside, you're looking at the lineup. You're like, oh, this person should have played. That person should have played. For me, that's neither here nor there. The team that he put out today was more than good enough to win that game. More than good enough to create chances, more than good enough to put them away on a good day. Today was a very, very bad day. And it just highlights the inconsistencies that we've been having all season. I know it's over the international break, but, you know, we draw and with Chelsea, beat PSG and Leipzig, lose to Arsenal, beat Everton, and then you struggle at home to West Bromwich Albion. That has been Man United all over this season. It hasn't been good enough. But I'm not going to go too much, and I've got a few guys in the background coming to give their point of view. Before we do that, make sure you guys smash the like button, hit the like button, hit subscribe, and share the content on your social media. I'm bringing in Tom, Danny, Indiana. Man United win, 3 points. We move up the table. I mean, at least we're not in the bottom half. At least we're not in the bottom half, I think. Where are we now? We are ninth. Ooh, into the top half of the
table. Be specific. How many points are we off top?
We are
7.
7 points with a game in hand off top. 7 points off with a game in hand.
How far are we off top for? Just curious, because I haven't seen the table.
4 with a no 4. Yeah, 4 with all the same games played. Yeah. So 8. But we are 5 off second with a game in hand. Chelsea's in second. I'm gonna come to one second, guys. I'm gonna come to Tom first. He was there waiting. Yeah. What are you saying? Tom? What do you think of that performance?
I said because I went on a couple of people's channels and people say, "Oh, it's fine. We'll just breezing past 4-0 or something." I just said it's a banana skin just waiting to be slipped on. And nobody even believed me when I said that. And what I meant by that was, Ollie, I think really from the get-go, set this team up to fail. When you're playing players like you play West Brom, and you can't press a West Brom team who are pretty much man behind the ball and just going to try and play counter-attack against you at Old Trafford. You're playing players that can't press. Mata has got no legs. Neither does Matic. And you're going to use these players to press. They can't press. They haven't got legs. It's as simple as that. And honestly, bailed out. Sam, I think his name was Sam Johnston tonight. Honestly, I think he could have saved the Titanic tonight, to be honest. Wow.
Well, he's an ex-Man United, isn't it?
Every single ex-Man United goalkeeper, whenever they play against us, does well. Tom Heaton's one, when he played at Burnley. Or he turns into, prime Van der Sar for some reason when they play us. They hit the bar. They have a penalty. They have a penalty. If I'm being honest, if that's against us, if that's going for us, I'd want a penalty. I think all of us would want a penalty for that. So very lucky in that aspect. Wow, man. I don't really know what to say, to be honest. It is a smash and grab. There's no two ways about it.
I wouldn't go as far. I wouldn't go as far as smash and grab. But
no. Come on.
No, when I say
West Brom, we need to win 3 or 4-0.
No, when I say smash and grab, so smash and grab for me is when a team, to an extent, look at Man City versus Spurs, where Man City are dominating the possession. I know they didn't create chance after chance after
Right.
chance, but they're dominant position, and then you hit them on a counter attack. We were generally in control of the game, but we just weren't
but
either clinical enough or.
Oh my
Well,
God!
of
How
course they had
dare they
chances.
have chances?
Of course
How
they had
dare a
chances.
professional football
But
team
no,
in the
but
Premier League create a
one
chance?
second,
against Man
Danny.
United?
I'll say, Tom. No, I agree. I think the performance was
No.
terrible.
But what I'm
but
saying,
I just think the
here
smash and grab
is, if
term
they score the
for
penalty,
me was wrong.
then it ends 1-1. Right. So you're honestly believing our whole game we deserved the 3 points. We deserved all 3 points from this game.
Well, put it like this. I'll come to the guys in a second. Put it like this. For me,
we deserved at least a point. West Brom deserved at least a point.
I think we deserved the win because when you look at West Brom's penalty, I think it was a penalty, but arguably Marshall should have been given in the first half. West Brom should have been given. Ours should have been given the first half, and then obviously the second one. On the balance of play, we created a better chances. We were able to take it, but of course they did have chances. If West Brom got a draw today, I don't think any Man United fan could have felt robbed or hard done by. But in the end, I think we did enough. Just enough to win the game. But once again, Tom. No, it's not good enough. Don't get me wrong.
It's not good enough. Championship level. We're beating them 1-0 at home.
No, listen, I'm not saying it's good enough.
Via a penalty.
But the smash and grab term.
And we had to retake it.
But the smash and grab term for me is not that doesn't for me count for this game. I'll come to Indiana next. What's your thoughts on the game and what transfer Tom has said?
I don't see it as a smash and grab personally. I think, do you know the one thing that worries me right now is, and I hate to say it because of the fanboys, like the fan club, Martial has a real problem right now.
Yes.
His confidence is very, very low. And I think Ollie done the right thing by playing him up top to start off with, trying to get him a goal and then putting him out wide to see if he got on the ball a bit more. But Danny said it actually in our group chat. He's on his heels, and Cavani comes on, and he's trying to get the ball playing quicker. So he's knocking the ball on, and Martial stood on his heels. He's not moving. There's a real if the player up top isn't making the right decisions, you're less likely to be playing those balls or making those or trying to make those runs and those movements off of him. I think also Fred from Neeks, you know how I feel about Fred, dilly-dally Fred, past the poor decisions. He's
man said past the poor decision.
He is.
Dilly-dally Fred, love it.
Dilly-dally Fred, the guy dilly-dallies. I don't know what the hype is about this guy. This is Manchester United.
But it depends. Okay, no, I hear it, but it depends what you are expecting from Fred. I don't expect a man who's going to dictate the play. I expect a man who's going to run around, getting tackles, and hopefully give it off quickly to someone who's better able.
But he can't do that, Neeks. That's the problem. His decision making is so poor.
His imperfection was the reason why he's got the goal, though, to be fair. Although it was a foul, looking back.
Okay, that granted. In the press, he's brilliant. I think he's really good. In the first half, he nicked the ball, and it was great. He read the play, he nicked the ball, brilliant. It's the simple things. Like, he got in the box, right? I never, ever want to see Fred shooting, ever. He always shoots when he should pass the ball. Today, he's in the box.
He should have shot.
He should have shot, and he's passed the ball. His decision-making is terrible. It is terrible. And I'm sorry, I don't want to hate on any player, and I don't hate him. And Neeks, I don't have any expectations of Fred. I know what he is. What annoys me is when the fans are bigging him up to be like, I don't know, the next Verratti or something. Like, do you know what I mean? There's a lot of holes.
Put it like this: would you put him anywhere? Because I see some people do it. Would you put him anywhere the level of N'Golo Kante?
No, don't. Come on.
No, I wouldn't. But I see people do it. I'm just asking. I see people do it.
Blasphemy.
I wouldn't put him. I wouldn't put him in. I wouldn't put him in the category of anybody. I wouldn't put him in Højbjerg's category. I wouldn't put him in.
Højbjerg's pretty good. He is, to be fair.
He's signing to see. None of them. He's not a top 6 player.
Let me come to Danny on the Fred thing, and obviously the performance overall. Okay, I'm not saying Indiana said this, but would you say Fred was a main contributor why we weren't able to break down West Brom as many times as we had, or why we only won 1-0? And do you agree in general on the points around Fred in this midfield?
So generally speaking, Fred and McTominay offer nothing against the low block. If people don't know this by now, like, when is it going to hit you? Against the low block, these guys don't do nothing. They're most effective in transition when they can push the ball into space. That's where Fred and McTominay, and I'm bringing McTominay in because I don't want to single out Fred in that way.
Yeah.
What you saw today is what I point out all the time. You see me, listen, I've got a glass of red right here. I'm in a good mood. I'm not in a bad mood at all because I know these players. When you get blinded by this idea that a better manager would have these guys, like what manager is going to have Matic doing short passing combinations in quick succession? People are delusional. These players have bad habits. They love low percentage passing. Matic in the first half, several low percentage passes when we didn't have the ball for long spells. Bruno Fernandes, I've said this before, technique, vision, movement, passing ability, all excellent. But he's a bad decision maker generally. That's why he gives the ball away a lot. All those things can be true. People that defend him want to act like, no, it's because he's always trying things. No, Bruno will mess up a standard 5-yard pass all the time.
Yeah.
That's an indication of bad concentration levels. And when he has certain
but
options, he makes bad decisions.
In the same game, he'll play that brilliant cutting ball to Matter
because he has vision, passing, movement off the ball. My point is Bruno Fernandes loves low percentage creation, always trying something difficult. When do you see Rashford get a basic assist? His assists are always out of this world. Always. Martial, his game is predicated on doing the difficult things, not the simple things. We've got players who, when they're low, they're just low percentage guys in their creativity. Everything they do is difficult. So when this is the collection of your players and you play a direct brand of football because you have the imbalance in midfield, you can't really keep it well. You can't trust Fred, Matic, McTominay to play short pass combination football. That's not their game. What would you expect to happen? Well, what do people expect? By the way, Rashford's clearly injured. This is a problem now.
Yeah.
We're going to have to start asking if he's injury prone. Ollie's trying to play Martial into the season. He effed himself up by getting sent off against Tottenham. And that's plagued him ever since.
Yeah, because everyone going to struggle with fitness because of the lack of pre-season. And when you get yourself suspended, and obviously you have less games than everyone else.
But today's game for me, Neeks, is just one of those games where I don't see how anybody can be talking about formation, tactics. Fred is a single pivot. It's just this is what I expect from these players. Listen, Everton game, we played pretty well overall. So, we played bad this game. When a team is inconsistent and their ceiling is, at best, 74 to 78 points, top 4, top 3 finish, this is what you're going to get. So you either get it in the form of a Leicester, who will give you 20 amazing games and then crap 18 games in inconsistency, or you get it in the form that we do in Man United, where it's chop. One game here, one loss here, draw here, win there, draw here, never. And you know what? I'm happy with this, Neeks, because it doesn't build my confidence up too much.
Yeah, we go on that big 15 game run and we think we're going to win the Premier the treble again.
I'm sitting with a glass of wine tonight and I'm in a decent mood because these players did what I know them to do and will be excellent on Wednesday. I know these players.
Do you know what, though? I'd like to see Ollie start Cavani, put Martial on the bench, but play him.
If Rashford is injured, then Martial might have to start if we're going to play Cavani.
Can I just say,
if he is injured, go on. Welcome to Red Devil.
That front line that finished the game, I want to see that team start, but with Van der Beek to 10.
Okay, and Bruno on the bench.
Get everybody sharp. Listen, we're playing these bums. They beat us last, but let's keep it. They're bums in Europe.
Istanbul.
We're playing Istanbul. We should go Martial, Rashford, Cavani, Bruno on the 10, and just go for it. You can't buy confidence. You have to earn it. You have to earn it. So
let me come to
Red. I want to see
Red Devil Studio. What's your? I think I can see your green screen in your glasses.
Yeah, actually behind me. First of all, big shout out to. I actually have to thank Liverpool fans. I have to thank Liverpool fans today because the Liverpool fans not complained about David Coote refereeing the game. He was supposed to referee the Liverpool game tomorrow, but they were like, no, we don't want him.
Because he was the VAR in the Merseyside derby.
Like, take him off. And he's obviously refereed our game. So to be honest, thank you, Liverpool fans. Appreciate it. Hearts to you guys. The gift that keeps on giving this season. Really, really appreciate it, So it is what it is. So I'll take that. I'll take the sloppy seconds, Nah, I think everyone can agree that it generally was a poor game. What I would say, though, to be fair to people saying that we should have beaten them 3 or 4 something, like this is the same West Brom team that drew 3-3 with Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, and also the same team that Spurs just about got a 1-0 goal in the 89th minute. So let's just chill in that, like, West Brom are somehow this team that just get slapped 3 or 4-0. Or I'm not saying that should be the standard. What I am saying is that, like, you know, there have been other teams that are currently where they are who either drew against West Brom, i.e. Chelsea, or struggled to win. Because I watched the Spurs West Brom game, and that was dead.
Yeah.
That was dead.
Can I just say, you know what? Very quickly, sorry, bro. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah,
I love the point you make. Basically, the flaws we see of our rivals don't matter to Manchester United fans. These things are irrelevant. They're irrelevant. It's only us these things happen to.
Yeah,
it's only us.
Yeah, no, it's like, what did people expect? Like, the thing is, what did people expect? Like, I knew coming to this game with West Brom, this is going to be a team that's going to play essentially 11 men behind the ball on a low block. And we know the United struggle with a low block. Like, that was coming into this game. And we know we struggled with it, but they've done that with almost every other team this season. Like, it's just the reason why they're where they are is because when they play against a Burnley or Leeds or whatever, they can't do that. They need not only to come out and attack, and they get exposed like they did against Fulham, you know. So it was going to be a difficult game. Stop making I don't care who they draw with. We should at least score 2 goals. I'm not making excuses. I'm not. This is not an excuse. This is what I'm saying. It's like, you know.
Well, we would have if Martial and Rashford took their
exactly.
chances.
I was going to come.
Can I just say, everybody's down. Sorry, my bro, because just that comment triggered me now. Yeah, like it's often. This isn't the first time this happened this season. Everybody's crying about United performance at home, similar with the Chelsea performance, but yet rival fans will gas up their goalkeeper tonight. It's just ironic to me. We were absolutely crap, but the best player on the opposition was the goalkeeper.
Well, shout out to Sam Johnson, because he was our academy goalkeeper. We seem to make really good academy goalkeepers for some reason. Tom Heaton, Sam Johnston, Dean Henderson. I don't get how we seem to produce good quality goalkeepers. I don't know what it is, but like, shout out to him. I actually felt a bit bad for him because I was like, dude, he had a very, very good performance, and I'm hopefully he has a good career wherever he is. But like, yeah, we at the end of the day, we had our chances, and I've been saying this, and I'm going to take your point in that we do overhype our players. I've been saying this for a while now. Like, when we say, okay, we're going to get Poch, we're going to get a good new manager, and this new manager is going to suddenly make Martial and Rashford play like, you know, prime Neymar and Mbappe. You know, these players have played, and the thing is, and this is the key thing, these players like Martial and Rashford have played under 3 different coaches now: Van Gaal, Mourinho, and Ole. And they'll get Pochettino a 4th one. So this whole, another coach rules. So what about Mourinho, who's now if you look at how Mourinho's made Kane look at how Harry Kane is looking. Look at how good Harry Kane is. His link-up play, he's a completely better player than when he was on the Poch. Let's be real.
And Son.
Can we just say, is it fair to say that Kane and Son are the players we hope and wish Martial and Rashford actually were?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
You know what it is? With Martial and Rashford, it's this thing in our imagination of what we think they could be, and we get glimpses of it all the time. And it's just always on the cusp. It's always there.
Danny, this is what I was saying. This is what I was saying in the group chat, is that Martial's now 24 years old. This isn't an academy kid. Like, he's leading the line at Manchester United. The chances he misses is crazy. And like I said to someone else in the group chat, they were moaning about Martial and Rashford. Out of our strikers, they're the worst 2 finishers.
It's true because Greenwood and Cavani.
So don't expect the 2 guys who start to be the ones that are getting you all the goals.
No, it's true. And the thing is, even as a striker, you look at Cavani, and I don't even know if he got the chance or the cross came in. I think it did. He made about 3 runs before the cross actually came in. Because that's what a striker does. You make runs, knowing the ball's not going to come in all the time. For that one time it does come in, you have to be there. Whereas when you're not a natural striker, you make the run once, it doesn't come, and the next time you go short because you just need the ball at your feet because you're a natural winger. Wingers need the ball at their feet. They want to run with the ball. Sometimes some of those things you can't train. There was one of the things in the Leipzig game where Martial misses his pass back to Greenwood. Greenwood made a proper striker's run to the near post. Martial's probably thinking in his brain, I would probably stand where I am and wait for the cutback, and he cuts it back and it's behind Greenwood. Some of those things you just can't train.
Greenwood
that's
by
the problem.
far is our most talented attacking forward. I know he's got issues, but just looking at, and I'm not saying as in terms of hyping, Greenwood is like now could be the new Mbappe, but in terms of actually his intelligence and his actual ability to finish, he is the most talented out of the three. It's just that he's still, 18 or something like that, and seems to have issues on the pitch which need to be resolved. But at the end of the day, like, you know, if Bruno Fernandes is basically the one that we're relying on to score us goals, I mean, he's the one that scored 2 goals against Everton. He's again the one who scores the penalty. What does that say from us going forward? I still expect us to beat Istanbul, and hopefully we will. But
we need to.
Do you know where the problem
One
is?
second in there. I'm going to come to Shane because he's been waiting patiently. Are you there, Shane, or are you frozen? Oh, you are there.
No, I'm there.
On the whole, the quality of the players. So starting with Fred, talking about the forwards. Nomad here says I don't agree. Our players are good enough. Well, my question is to you, Shane. Good enough for what? What do you think is the ceiling for these players, regardless of who the man? Like, if you get the best manager in, how far can these players actually go that we've got?
What players, Martial and Rashford, or Fred, or who?
All of them, the players at our disposal. So let's talk about the forwards and the likes of Matic, Fred, McTominay. Obviously, McTominay didn't start today, so I don't want to throw him in there unnecessarily.
Well, the first one I'll start with Fred. The thing is with Fred tries the hard balls all the time, and it never seems to come off. On the ball, he's not particularly good. But the one thing I do like about him, he does try to play forward, but he's just very energetic, wins the ball back, but on the ball, he can be very indecisive with his passing. And Martial, the thing with him is, I think he's got all the talent in the world to be a very, very good player, but I just don't think he's a natural striker, because when you look at him, he doesn't really make runs in the box, and it's not really his fault, but it's just not natural to him. He wants to get the ball at his feet and run at players. And with Rashford will have moments in game where he's just world class. I'll give you an example. Against PSG, he had 2 bad moments where he should have passed it to Martial, and he overhit the pass. But then he scored a very good goal. Rashford's always going to be like that. It's just where he can not necessarily cut them bad moments out, because I don't think he's ever going to do that.
But just make more good moments then, so it's weighed heavy on the better favour.
Yeah, exactly. And Danny made a point earlier about our players sometimes make bad decisions and don't really do the basics well. The one player who does do the basics is always on the bench. That's something that we need to fix, because this was a good game.
Van de Beek?
Yes, because the thing is, even though West Brom do sit back, I thought they did press us. They did. They didn't really give us much time on the ball. And Fred does panic when he gets when he's being rushed on the ball. Same
Rabbit in headlights.
Dilly dally, Fred.
Yeah,
I think that happened more so when they went ahead though. That's the only thing I would say.
In the
first 25 minutes of the first half, West Brom were pressing high. They got tired, and that's when we had the ball. In the second.
The only one player I do feel comfortable with on the ball is Harry Maguire. That's it. I do feel a bit comfortable with Telles, but that's it really. So, and something else I need to pick up on. The balance on that right-hand side is just woeful.
It's non-existent. It's non-existent.
Yeah, it is.
Let's be honest.
I think it's balanced in more places than that. I don't just think it's the right.
I'm not gonna talk too much about Sancho, but it's clear how badly we needed him. It's just chalk and cheese, really. Oh, yeah. And the only one player who actually does keep the width is Dan James, but unfortunately, he just doesn't have any football intelligence.
Yeah,
Rashford can, but it just doesn't look comfortable out there with him. And why he was playing in the first place was beyond me, because the guy had an injury, you could tell. Anytime he was going in the 50-50s, he was rolling to the floor and he just looked hurt. And yeah, it was just a bad performance all around.
I'm not going to drag this on too long, because we got a win. It wasn't a great game. We don't need to lament over. We didn't lose to West Brom at home. That would have been a real therapy session.
Can I just say, we didn't deserve to lose. This is Man United fans are so entitled.
No, we didn't deserve to lose, but we didn't deserve to win.
Entitled. Old Trafford hasn't been what it's been for a very, very long time. We haven't qualified for the Champions League in 2 years, for 2 years running, since Alex Ferguson left. Accept where we are. Accept the Man United we are today. Like, people are so into smash and grab. Please. Like,
can I say, do you think that I know this is controversial, but like, a lot of the things that we're talking about our forwards, in terms of the complaints that we had, I would argue we did have a player that would have fitted some of the things, and that was Romelu Lukaku. Like, Romelu Lukaku, I know, okay.
Danny's gone.
Just hear me out. I'm not trying to say that Romelu Lukaku is the best. What I am trying to say is that, well, certainly one, like, if people remember Lukaku playing on the right, actually a pretty good job for us when he was playing on the right. Certainly a lot more than what we had there, from what I remember playing. But when we're talking about number 9, most of the forwards that we have sound like they're inside forwards. You know, as much as I think that Agallo isn't what we need, Agallo at least stays in the box. We need if Martial is going to play as number 9, many times this game I was like, there's only one, maximum 2 players in the box, and there's like 9 West Brom players in the box. So what are you going to do? So one of the things we can't break down teams, but if we don't actually have players in the box attacking the ball, then what can we do in the first place?
But the problem is,
can I counter your point on Lukaku?
Well, once again, Shane, go. Go on, Shane, quickly.
Well, the thing is, the way we play, it's very quick football on the ground. And what do you like Lukaku or not? Lukaku's best when he's got space in front of him, because he's a very strong guy, and he's actually quite quick for someone who's quite big. We like to play quick on the ball football, and there's examples of it. The goal against Sheffield United, where Pogba played it into the half space for Bruno, he flicked it on to Martial, he'd done a 1-2 with Rashford, ended up in a goal. There was another example where, Pogba played it into the box to Martial holded it up, passed it to Rashford, goal. Against Palace, we'd done the same. Martial played a 1-2 off Bruno, passed it to Rashford, he cut inside, goal. Lukaku can't do that. Now, and some people might say that Cavani doesn't really do that, but let's be honest, the Cavani one was a panic buy. There was no plan.
Cavani's
no
a much better football player than Lukaku.
Cavani's
But the points you raise about the short passing combination playing the final third is 100% accurate. I understand what Red Devil Studio is saying here, but we saw in his final season under Mourinho, Lukaku did the best that he could without a winger or fullbacks who were supposed to supply him. That's what he needs. That's why in his final season it fell down for him, because he's like, my usual service. There's bread and butter for Lukaku. We don't do the bread and butter for him.
But even in the final season, he's still, because of the player, he was still successful against low block.
But then you replace him. This is why Oli wanted Haaland. He targeted him. Yeah. He didn't get him.
Man's scored 4 goals today. You know, golden boy.
He asked for a right winger. He asked for a right winger. Didn't get one. Wanted a centre back, didn't get one. Barely got Tellez.
Wanted a defensive midfielder and got another attacking midfielder. Like, if you think about this, right? We got like five attacking.
Can I imitate that conversation? Let me tell people how this went. I think I've said this in the group chat before on Twitter. This is what happened. So imagine you're Ollie, right? Yeah. Start of the summer. Woodward's like the Sancho deal. We're going to get it done. You know, we're really, really close. 4 or 5 weeks pass. We're working on it. We're doing the best we can. We will get it done, though. More weeks pass. Then he says, hey, come see me, Ollie. Come see me. Cool. He comes to see him. Yeah, so the Van der Beek deal, we can do a deal for Van der Beek right now. What about Sancho? You know, we're still working on that deal. We think we can get that done, but we can do Van der Beek right now, Ollie. Yeah, okay, but sign Van der Beek. That's what happened.
Yeah, of course.
Managers always want players. Why do you think is Louis van Gaal a punk? Is Louis van Gaal soft? Do we know? Do we know? No. Why do you think Louis van Gaal was taking in his opinion, his seventh in the line for signings? Because managers always want players.
Yeah,
They're always going to want play. It takes a very stubborn manager to say, "Nah, don't bring Van der Beek. I'd rather no one." That takes
do you know what it is, though? Do you know what the big thing is? We've spoken about. We've touched on both ends of it. So we talk about strikers and we talk about the players who play behind them. So you can have players like Bruno Fernandes who make a pass instinctively, but then if you don't have a movement up top, which is instinctive in a striker, it's not going to work. You can have Cavani up top, and he's got instinctive movement, But if the players out wide don't put that ball in first time, they see that run. You watch Cavani. Cavani's going to get fed up. I can see it.
Remember when we signed Van Persie and the first game against Everton, he came off the bench. We lost the game 1-0. And I think there was a lot of times Van Persie's making a certain run, calling for the ball.
Yeah.
And he wasn't getting it. And he's getting very frustrated. I think in the post-match, Ferguson said, these guys will learn to play with Van Persie. It's like they hadn't played with a proper number 9.
But what happened, Neeks?
Wait, when did they actually play?
Well, we had Javier Hernandez, but he wanted to start and he can't hold the ball up.
Since then, it was Van Nistelrooy. Van Nistelrooy was the last proper number 9. Saha maybe.
Injury.
I guess, injury. But Van Nistelrooy was the last starting number 9 any of those players really played with.
Are you talking about that inside run, that run he makes? He starts central and ends up between a centre-back and full-back.
But what happened with that?
Yeah, that one. And then the next game, obviously, they play with much better players. Evra, those kind of players. Wayne Rooney. The next game, we play, I think, Fulham at home. And Van Persie makes those same runs, near post, ball comes in, and he's scoring first time. You have to learn the movements of top quality players. Now, if we do start Cavani going forward as a number 9, or whether it's Greenwood when he comes back, as you say, the players behind have to put the ball where they expect to go, and then those players are going to have to keep making the runs, knowing where they're going to put it. The problem is, as I said, when you've got someone like Martial playing through as a number 9, his instinct, he might make the run once because Solskjaer told him in training.
Yeah.
But his instinct after that is like, I need to come short because that ball didn't come in that one time.
Something?
It's not about that. The ball's not always going to come in. But when it does come in, you have to be there. And a lot of the time, no one's in the box.
Go on, Shane. Yeah.
Okay. Now, are you all suggesting that Martial needs to be replaced and we need to buy someone, or just saying for the short term, just put Cavani in?
For Manchester United, there's a lot of players in there that, for me, are not at that standard. If the board went and bought the players the managers wanted, trust me, Martial is not starting. I hate to say it, but as a number 9, as a world-class striker, you put a Martial in there.
In Indiana, basically, if our board had what that director of football has what Chelsea, literally in one, like, I can't keep on telling this to, like, one summer transfer window, guys. One summer window, you get Thiago, you get Chilwell, you get Werner, you get Ziyech came in Jan, but it's still in the same sort of period. But you know what I mean. You get Havertz and so on. I'm probably missing. Oh, they got Mendy.
You get Partey at least.
You know, so 7 players in one window, effectively. That's what they got, and we're like, oh, we might be able to somehow get Alex Telles over the line, etc.
So it's deeper than that. Those were all first 11 players.
Yes. Listen, we signed. Let's be honest.
Not just that, it was during a pandemic.
Yes.
We signed one first 11 player for me in Alex Telles. Van der Beek was never brought in as a first team player this season. Not saying he can't force his way in, but Alex Telles for me is the only one who I said we signed him. He is the best player in his position.
Can I ask
Everyone
you a
else
question,
was a backup.
Off the back of what you've just acknowledged, why are Manchester United fans expecting this upward trajectory if we know those to be the facts? If you was a Manchester United fan, at the start of the summer, we needed a right winger, we needed a CDM, we needed a left back, and we needed a centre back for the first 11. For the first 11. Striker's a luxury option if we're being honest. But those key positions for the first 11, we only get one left back and we barely got that done. Why are you expecting an upward trajectory?
I'm gonna answer that, and I'm gonna.
Well, to be fair, in fairness, we were complaining about lack of squad depth, so we did improve on that front.
No, it's not that we shouldn't improve on squad depth, but if you improve your first 11, you automatically improve squad depth. Because if you buy in a right winger, then whoever was playing right wing last year becomes the sub. If you buy in a centre back, whoever's playing centre back,
but Neeks, say what you were going to say. Address it.
No, because I want to answer it, but we need to wrap up. So I'll answer it as my last point. Go on, Red Devil.
No, I was just literally just saying, like, just adding the squad depth. Like, look at Tammy Abraham today at Chelsea. Like, Werner's obviously the main guy. Ziyech is the main guy, and Tammy Abraham's the one who's now the squad depth. Now comes in on the bench to improve. So, you know, for me, that's I take what Devil Details was saying, and I said this at the start of the season, where we have to undergo this realization that Manchester United are competing against teams that are backed heavily and significantly by their boards. It's just a fact. And yes, we didn't get the players that we needed. So what is the expectation of what is the expectation Ole Gunnar Solskjaer going to somehow take this team and we're going to win a Premier League, we're going to get into a Champions League, etc. Like that's not going to happen unless our board fully backs the sky. And if they're not, that's fine. Get Pochettino in, but is Pochettino going to get the full backing of this board?
No,
he's
No,
not.
of course not.
Well, let me answer the question. Just before we talk about we end up just talking about the last game, the next few games that we're coming up. To answer the question, Man United fans don't actually expect to win the title or to win the major trophies with this squad, but because they've made it
upward trajectory.
Well,
Why do we expect just a linear, clear upward line?
to be fair,
once again, they made their minds up on Ole, and by expecting publicly this continuous upward trajectory, you can keep putting the blame at the manager's door. That's what it is. Because let's be honest, we went into the season knowing that we didn't get what we needed. Therefore, we should all expect up and down results. But because you need to push your, agenda or your belief that Solskjaer is not good enough and he should be sacked, you have to put an expectation that you know is unattainable. And by doing that, he's always going to fall short. And that's, for me, that's the bottom line. So I don't think they truly believe that we should be winning XYZ games by XYZ goals. But by putting it up there, Solskjaer will always fall short. And you can say, well, he's not meeting my expectations, Ollie out. And that's the bottom line for me.
well, the thing is, before the summer transfer window opened, my expectation was for us to get enough players in so we can close the gap on City and Liverpool. Now, the players we signed, I think, have been good. Like, yes, the Cavani one was a panic buy, and the Telles one, we just got that done. But realistically, Telles has been one of the best left backs in Europe with his statistics for the last few years, and Cavani's been one of the best strikers in Europe for the last 5 or 6. And yes, he's injury prone. But the players we've got is probably another race for top 4, and I'm still convinced we're going to get it because I think that Spurs will be hit by injuries because they always are, and I'm not really convinced. I'm not convinced about Arsenal, and I think Leicester will fall short because that's just the way Brendan Rodgers is.
But you realise people would just be like, "Oh, if we do get top 4, it will be." But it's only because Leicester felt, it's like no. Listen, this is what I'm going to put it to you like this: mathematically, if your ceiling is top 4, top 3 rather, we're saying top 4 is really top 3 in it for the Leicesters and everyone else and ourselves, Arsenal, Tottenham, in my opinion. Because Liverpool and City should be the top 2. Throw Chelsea in there as well. If your ceiling is 74 to 78 points, for example, you realise there's only an X amount of games you can win. The closer you get to those 22, 23 wins earlier on in the season, that means for the rest of the season, your form's going to taper off badly. It regulates. That's what happened to Leicester last year. Their ceiling's about 22, 23 wins. They got to 15, 16 wins way too quickly. And remember, they were poor before lockdown.
Yeah, they were.
Don't let people fool you.
But that's why I always say, people like to use this, we only got top 4 because of lockdown. I said no, because before lockdown, I was already confident getting top 4. Not third, but I was confident getting top 4 because our form was going there. Leicester's was going down, but I didn't expect it to carry on that bad. And Chelsea was going the same direction. And they had a lot of injuries, as did Spurs. And we were playing Spurs in that first game, obviously back from lockdown, which was our next game, which got suspended. So people like to, there's all these mitigating factors when we do well under Ole, but when we do badly under Ole, you can't make no excuses. You can't have it both ways, innit? There's either mitigating factors or there's none. But to wrap up, guys, obviously the next game we've got Tuesday, we're playing Istanbul. For me, must win because you go into the last 2 games against Leipzig, against PSG. We should have really been aiming, especially after winning those 2 games, which we didn't expect from the outset, but we won them. We wanted to end those the 2 Leipzig back-to-back games with minimum 10 points, but really 12. Unfortunately, the maximum we can get now is 9, which means that we need to get a draw possibly from our last 2 games to qualify. How confident are you of getting a win against Istanbul on Tuesday? Starting with Danny.
Oh, yeah, we're just going to turn up and smash them. We were poor against West Brom, so we'll be brilliant in the next game. That's how it works. That's how it works with these players.
Indiana.
We'll beat them 3-4 comfortably.
I have no expectations of any game. It's just how I am right now. I can't help it.
Red Devil.
I think PSG needs to be more worried than we are. That's what I would say, though. I think that even in respect of the result, when I look at where do I see how PSG are, I think that because if we win and they lose to RB Leipzig, then basically like
Tuchel's gone if they lose.
Sorry?
Tuchel's getting sacked if they lose to Leipzig.
Oh yeah, if they lose to Leipzig, it's over, because even if they win their next 2 games against us and Istanbul, United and Leipzig just need to play out essentially a draw in the last game to be fine. And even then it'll be okay. So I would argue that there's more pressure in the PSG side than there is in the United side, irrespective of the result, because of the way that United are, because we are crazy and drop points against Istanbul teams, but then turn up pro. I wouldn't be surprised if PSG come to Sheffield and we win.
Yeah, that's typical.
But that's how.
No,
we do
I
it.
agree. That's Man United.
Counter attack. They'll give us space. They're not going to. PSG aren't going to park the bus at Manchester United like West Brom did today. They're going to give us tons of space. We're going to run. We're going to counter. We're going to throw in balls. Martial and Rashford will be able to run. Leipzig to a certain extent, same thing. Whereas Istanbul, I'm more concerned about, because they're going to put 11 men behind the ball and we're going to struggle. So I expect us to win, but I expect a similar performance to today. Maybe a 1-0, probably because of a penalty. And that's it.
Shane.
I'm like Indiana. I don't have any expectations of this team. Might win, might lose.
Yeah, I said I'm on a similar path. I don't expect anything from this team, but if I have to make a prediction, I think we will get a victory. Because as I said, it's a must win. If we were to lose this game, I mean, it doesn't mean we're not going to qualify for the group. As you said, you don't know what Man United is going to turn up, but I think it has to be catastrophic to lose back-to-back games to Istanbul after beating Leipzig and PSG.
Given our team, would you guys be surprised if we actually lost Istanbul tomorrow, but then went on to beat Leipzig and PSG afterwards?
No, I wouldn't be. I
wouldn't be surprised if we lost all 3 or won all 3. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yo, we could
I would actually
easily beat Istanbul and then lose lose against PSG and Leipzig. We could do that.
Exactly.
Alan Madrid says Neymar, Verratti, Marquinhos will be back.
Yeah, but
they will be. They will be.
They're back. They're back. The defensive line is gone. So that
they were 2-0 against Monaco and they lost that.
I watched them against Monaco. They were poor. They were awful.
Yeah. As you said, we went into this group as a group of death. A lot of people did not expect us to get through. I felt, you know what? Why not? Why are we looking at it like, we're going to get knocked out? Leipzig and PSG, their fans should be thinking and saying, damn, we drew Man United. Of all the teams we could have drawn, we bloody went and drew Manchester United. That's what they should be thinking.
I tweeted. It's
I remember.
PSG and Leipzig. I don't know what people
are talking about. This is what I said. It's the group of death, but not for us.
Yeah.
Because we've got nothing to lose. Do you know what I mean?
And our best results and performances tend to come against the bigger sides and the bigger games. Yeah.
So, why is that? That's a problem in itself. Why can these players step up when we play against these top teams? Why do they step up then?
If we drew Shakhtar,
it's a mentality problem.
If we drew Shakhtar, Istanbul, Rennes, then we might be thinking about playing Europa League in.
To be fair, PSG aren't incredibly hard to beat, because if Neymar and Mbappe turn up, they don't really have much to offer.
Yeah,
simple. That's just what happened when they played us.
I don't rate PSG's defense either. I think I don't actually think his defense is particularly good.
I'm not just that their build-up play is slow.
I love that comment from Luna King, by the way.
Can't lose against Istanbul because Fred started.
It might bounce up in Madrid. Well, Madrid have like 6 players. I think Ramos is gone. Valverde's out. They've got quite a few players that are out and struggle to beat Villarreal. So,
yeah, they drew today, but luckily for them, Barca lost. But maybe they need to concern themselves with Atletico Madrid.
Yeah,
did they win?
Atletico Madrid are probably the one team I would be 99.9% sure we would lose to.
Oh yeah, 100%. Oh, 100%. Because they are. Listen, we can't beat a low block. That is their game.
Yeah.
So they will sit back and they will just hit us.
But
I'm not just that.
But Neeks, we can't beat a high press apparently either. How do we win football matches?
It's luck.
As KJ would say, judge. But listen, guys, it's been good. We got the 3 points, what we needed after the international break. At least we won 2 games in a row. Is that the first time in the league we've won 2 games in a row this season?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Bloody hell. I mean, I'll take it. I don't care whether we deserved it or not. Barchester United, Penandes, whatever it takes. Everyone gets a bit of luck or fortune or whatever it might be.
Above City, so I'm happy.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And if we finish above City this season, I think that might be enough for top 4. I can't. Surely they're not going to finish outside the top 4. Maybe we'll see.
Remember, if you ever get a second shot at anything in life, it's now called a Bruno. So if something goes wrong in life, you get a second chance.
He needs to sort out those penalties because he's missed.
Not to be fair, even if he missed that second one, it would have been retaken because the keeper was offside again.
Yeah,
but I'm saying he missed against PSG. He missed against Newcastle, which obviously that one wasn't retaken, and he's missed this one today. I mean,
was it Brighton?
He takes Brighton if he's
Brighton he scored it.
He scored last minute.
Yeah, it was last. Yeah.
So yeah, I just think I don't know what's happening there, but I don't trust anyone else on penalties consistently to take them. So listen, keep going.
What did we make of Tellez today on his debut?
I think it was alright.
I think it is for debut. I think crossing wise as well. I think that like he certainly goes forward and he certainly puts crosses in. It's just that we don't seem to have the 4 players that seem to anticipate that as much as they should.
Oh, I feel bad for him.
Instinct.
There was a moment where basically, when Rashford did that decent shot at the near post and the goalkeeper tipped it over.
Yeah.
You see, if you watch Match today, if you do want to watch the game again, I understand if you don't. Like where Tellez is on the touchline and he's hovering, should I overlap or not? In that moment, he realized, yeah, I'm gonna have a problem. When I overlap, these men ain't gonna give me the ball often. Like in that moment, he realized who he's playing.
Because there was actually another time when Marshall had the ball on the edge of the area, and I'm not saying no with Tellez. Okay. And I'm not saying he shouldn't have, but he came back in on the inside to have a shot himself, and Tellez was just like open on the left hand side. Now he was, to be fair, a bit wide. Maybe he should have come in a bit more to give the option, but it was so open that literally, if you give it in the space, Tellez comes in, whips it in, but he's just not thinking like a striker, because a striker gives that off and gets into the 6-yard box because it's easier to score from there than it is at the edge of the area. And obviously,
Martial's the better version of Firmino.
Well, it's the pressure as well. He needs to get a goal. He's under pressure for himself that he needs to score. He missed a lot of chances for France. He hasn't had a good start for us. So there's all of that. I think if he gets a few goals, maybe he's going to be a bit more confident. Or not confident, but relaxed, that he doesn't need to force the issue. Give it to someone. I'll get into the right position. But yeah, guys, listen. We've got the 3 points into the top half of the table. As Red Devil said, we're above Man City. So that's something to take on the weekend. Red Devil, look. Exactly. And hopefully we can, relax and see some good football tomorrow with Liverpool dropping some points. Just hopefully to round
Arsenal
off
lose.
Leicester Pool.
Well.
That would be. I mean, I don't like Leeds. But I hate Arsenal more. That's just how it is.
Do you hate Arsenal or do you hate the fan base?
Both.
Yeah.
Both, because they won titles when we wanted to. So
the shirts, the dopey dinosaur, the lot. All of them.
But yeah, guys, so smash the like button, hit subscribe if you haven't done so already, share the content, and we'll see you soon.
Take care, man. See you.